Hey, what's up guys, TheCampingRusher here. Welcome back everybody to another Fortnite video. Today we're talking about the newest shotgun that's coming to Fortnite in a few weeks. We're talking about Tilted Towers actually possibly returning based on some map changes, and then all stuff Doomsday event. Basically just a bunch of stuff that came out in the files relating to the new update 12.4 and some exciting stuff in the next few weeks. So I'm very excited. Make sure you stick around for the entire video. Touch that like button for me right now. Let's go big. 12,000 likes today. And of course, leave a comment at any point with theories, opinions, anything like that. So let's get into this one first. Fortnite notice, item disabled due to an issue. We've temporarily disabled the following item: proximity mine. So the proximity mine's disabled. It'll be back soon. It's just some bug or glitch happening. Yeah, we'll get it back very, very soon. Don't you worry. And this has appeared. So in my last, if you missed my last videos, once you're done this one, you're going to want to go back and check out those previous videos. There was 2 of them that came out right when 12.4 launched. We talked about the map changes, new skins that are coming. There's a lot of new skins coming. And one of the changes was the prison POI. Shark turned into prison. And again, we discussed some stuff, but one thing we didn't discuss is inside of the prison POI, there's this calendar. And you can see it there, the 31st. However, it's a little bit confusing because there's 31 days. The Tuesday lands on the 31st. The X marks the spot there. So it can't be April. A lot of people are saying this could possibly be April, the event on April 31st, but April 31st isn't a thing, right? So we're assuming it's last month, but we don't know what it references to because we don't really know what happened on March 31st, unless it's looking way into the future. I'm not too sure. There's been reports it's a Doomsday, the live event countdown, but that's not true. It can't be. So I thought I'd point that out. I don't know what it means. Let me know your thoughts on what this relates to, but it is in the prison POI that was recently added. Moving on here, some interesting map changes. The first one being the chair truck that has been driving around the map since Season 1 has crashed. It crashed into another car, another truck that was driving. And as you can see here, kind of sad. All the chairs are down. It's part of the back end of the truck toppled down the hill. All the chairs on the ground there. So there is some pallets, there's some free wood if you're over there, some good wood, but other than that, I don't know where these were supposed to go. I don't know if it'll be rebuilt. I'll keep you updated on this funny, sad little side story that's going on. Hopefully no one was injured. All right, let's keep that in mind. Mini-map changes. Day 3, fancy view located northwest of Holly Hedges. The expensive car parked in the house flew off a cliff at the end of Season 1, only to be pulled up by a crane, which now also ended up falling, only to be pulled up by yet another crane. Keep an eye on this location tomorrow. So... oh, this is hilarious, man. So again, another little side story. I love these things. They don't really have any reference to the storyline, but just something on the side that we can follow and have fun with. Moving on here, Fort Tory. I got the 2 new Agency U maps in the game, Agency FT A and Agency FT B, and the only difference I can tell is that they removed the second chance van and the phone booths. We assumed, or there's been word that Agency's going to be destroyed, changed in the upcoming weeks, most likely due to the Doomsday event. And on top of that, we also know that the Agency is looking like it's going to be Team Shadow. I talked about that in the previous video. And the best explanation for this, no phone booth, no second chance van, is it's going to be used for the event. So this will most likely be where the event's taking place, at least the main portion of it. Other than that, it doesn't really indicate much else. Okay, let's get into kind of the more interesting stuff here. And it's funny because we talked about this just a few days ago, OG Tilted Towers being a possible alternative to the skill-based matchmaking problem because it just puts all the good players starting out in that same location right away. They fight it out. Thus, you have a smaller chance of running into a good player. There's less good players remaining because they all fight right away and eliminate each other, with one leaving out or leaving on top. But now with the new update, the No Sweat Insurance building can now be found at Lazy Lake. And this is the building that used to be in OG Tilted Towers Chapter 1. And so it's in Lazy Lake. We'll talk more about that in a second. But on top of that, It looks like someone has been placing these signs around Pleasant Park. Seems like I'm not wanted here. No sweat insurance. There you go. So it's at Pleasant as well. It's also at Frenzy. There's signs at Frenzy. And this post actually references something we've talked about, and that's Frenzy eventually being burnt down, right? Because of that loading screen there. We've discussed this before. So possible further evidence that that's going to happen. But I hope that doesn't mean Pleasant's get destroyed, man. It's the one location that is stuck around. One of the few that's stuck around for forever, right? And it's probably my favorite location. And here is a map just showing you all the different spots. So it's also Holly Hedges and Sweaty Sands are the other two named locations that have the no sweat insurance signs up. So definitely hinting at some map changes there. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, of course, but getting more and more teasers as we get closer to the end of this season, which is always very exciting. You've made it this far into the video. Why not subscribe to the channel, man? I appreciate it. Lots of you guys have been hitting that sub button. It's quick. It's easy. You don't even have to pause the video. How easy is that? Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Back to the video. On top of that, with Lazy Lake, this kind of relates back to the Tilted Towers theory, which would be the best thing, I think, for me. I'd be super excited about it. But it's this Reddit post by Bro It's Lit. Lazy Lake could be turning into a Tilted Towers hybrid. This picture does not have the new no sweat building, but I lined it up to where it is added. Tilted kind of lines up, could definitely be worked into the area, and I inverted Tilted in order to make it work. So there you go. You can see it's very similar. And again, they could make little adjustments to make it fit in there. But the point is, Lazy Lake was the only one that actually had the building added compared to any of the other spots. And it would make sense, man. Lazy Lake is one of the hot spots, I'd say. Pleasant and Lazy. Slurpee can be a pretty hot one too, but I'd say Pleasant's our main big one. I don't go to Lazy too often, but there's a chance. There's a chance we could be getting OG Tilted back at some point. I definitely don't think it would be this season, but possibly going into next season. This could be teasing it. There's a chance. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Couple other big ones here. The first was a Reddit post. It was this sub right now, and Epic did reply to it. Understanding the current situation of the world and a delay was almost inevitable. That's a hard word. I always mess up that word. Given the current conditions, calling Epic lazy and complaining that they won't have any content until June 4th. So okay, just one of those posts. One of those I think it's a meme post, right? But there was a reply, 2 replies here from Epic staff. We definitely have some exciting stuff coming in soon. We always appreciate the feedback on LTMs. We're continuing to iterate on the spy game stuff. Would love to hear feedback on knockout duos and squads. And then he goes on to say, we've been focusing on the spy games LTM this season, but definitely good to hear which modes have been your favorite. So that's why we haven't had a lot of other types of LTMs, because they just admitted, as we could tell, spy games was the main focus. And I've enjoyed the spy games. Today's video background is actually my first, myself and my roommate just did the knockout duos. Today was pretty fun. Definitely different than the squads, and I'm excited to try that out in a tournament. Yeah, a lot different, and I think a little bit less strategy. Squads, it's harder because you have to coordinate so many people appropriately. But it's a fun game mode, man. It really is. It's something very different than what we've had. But yeah, more stuff is coming soon, as we've been told, and that's before the end of the season, June 4th. We don't know what that stuff is, but I'm excited to find out. And once again, make sure you're subscribed, because I will keep you up to date. Finally, like we discussed at the start of the video, there is a new shotgun in the works, and this excites me. It scares me a little bit, but it does excite me. But I've been asking for it. I want meta changes, so I can't complain. If things are unbalanced, if it's super different, I ask for it. I want fresh, different metas all the time, and keeping the game exciting to come back to, because there's always something different. Here it is from HypeX. Codename Shotgun Charge Athena. Rarities, every single one. The damage is from 6.5 to 10.5, but he thinks that's just a placeholder. And then he goes on to say, here are the current stats. So that was a placeholder. Here are the current stats in rarity order from common to legendary. Gray to gold. Body damage, 68, 77, 85, 95, 102. The headshot multiplier / pellet might be 1.5. It also has a damage charge multiplier. So that's is different. Minimum equals 1 times and max equals 1.75. Charge time is 1 second. Clip size is 3. So I know that's probably a little bit hard for some of you guys to picture, but basically how this thing's going to work, it does a little bit less damage than the pump, right? Comparative. And the headshot multiplier is less. However, if you charge this thing up, which is 1 second for a full charge, you get 1.75 times the damage. But you only have a clip size of 3. So it's depending how you can charge this thing. Like, are you going to be able to jump out of, say, take a jump peak, and while you're jumping be able to charge it? Hopefully. That's got to be the case, or it's going to be pretty underpowered, because you need to, if you get the charge off, this thing's going to be strong, right? Because you got that headshot multiplier, which is less than normal 2 times, but you do a 1.5 times and a 1.75 times, assuming you hit a headshot, that thing's going to do some damage, man. So I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Of course, it's hard to see or hard to think about until we actually get to see it in game. But those stats kind of help us understand how this thing's going to work. It's definitely going to change the meta a little bit, and that's what I've been asking for. So again, I'm not going to complain. That's all I got for you today. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Touch that like button on your way out. Subscribe. Code TheCampingRusher in the item shop. Take care. Talk soon. Goodbye.